are live. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? Today's a great day. Making some changes to the room. All right, I got my dad hat on. Perfect. Get some headphones on. Here we go. We're gonna let some people come on in. We're gonna have to take away the Patreon account for now. Looks like it got all screwed up. What's up, Tim? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, they made changes to the Patreon website. All right, cool. What is up? All right. Hey, we got some stuff going on, guys. We got this new video right here. All right, so it's gonna be introdestings. This is something relatively new. I haven't seen it yet. Hopefully, oh, there's some road rage stuff. We might not use that one. I don't care about road rage. I don't care about road rage at all. I didn't see that. Why do people do road rage stuff? All right, so Moto Lunatics, that was there. Road rage. I think we'll just skip the road rage. Oh, skip. Let's not do that. So, how's everybody doing today? First bike? What's the bike you're gonna get? What's the bike, Matt? What's your first bike? Yeah, boys. Let's go and turn you off there. Very cool. So yeah, we made some changes to the back. You can see the play button kind of right there. I got rid of the chairs, gave them to the kids. Tracer 7 hundo. Nice. What is that thing? Ooh, that looks cool. That's cool. Sport touring bike. Nice. I like it. Traction control on or off with all sorts of gravel. So, I use traction control all the time. Now, if you're going like off-road, here's the only time traction control can be a problem is if you're like an off-road rider. You actually kind of want some of that less traction to help you out with some of the stuff. But when you're just mainly street riding, and you have to deal with gravel and a few other weird things, traction control is really good. But I know some dirt bikers out here is gonna be like, traction control, let's not use that off-road, and use that rear brake and slip and slide everywhere. That's kind of what you want to do. SV750 near me. Yeah, there's a lot of R3s around there. A lot of R3s. Congrats, man. Congrats. So guys, if you were ready to jump into this, so basically what we're gonna be doing here today is that, so see, I looked up motorcycle crash compilation. That's kind of how we get things going. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a live version of what I typically do for the motorcycle crash stuff. So today was actually a video that was sent in to me from a DDFM crew member. I got a few of them that I'm sitting on, so I'll be doing more and more of those. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. You guys are killing it. You guys are doing a great job when it comes to sharing, watching the videos, liking the videos. A lot of cool things. So pretty excited. What's up, Lies in the Sky? How you doing? But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. We're gonna skip all the road rage stuff because at the end of the day, road rage stuff is your lack of control over your behavior. I understand it's a life or death situation at all times when we're on the bike or even in a car, and we're always at that heightened sense. But there's also the reason how to not get into that situation. If somebody cuts you off, just let them go. It's almost like a Chihuahua picking a fight with like a Great Dane. You know what I mean? We're on a 500-pound bike, maybe some people have some bigger bikes, an 800-pound bike, versus a 2-ton, 3-ton truck. I mean, that's kind of. Somebody downvoted the vid. Somebody disliked this live stream. Whatever. Autumn, rains, cold weather. Getting my first bike tomorrow sounds doesn't have a great. Yeah, dude, Constantine, that sounds badass. Here we go. You guys ready? Let's watch this first one. Okay, it's a Grom. Let's see. We've already. One sec. I don't want to get copyright claimed. Okay, just double checking which one that one is. There's a video of like a dude lane filtering, and somebody puts their hand out to stop him. I got copyright claimed last time, so one second. Yeah, we get some trolls sometimes. Hey, when you start getting trolls and people hating on you, that means you made it, right? I like to think that. Yeah, so stunt Grom. So he looped it. I just want to get to this part right here. So he looped it. That's a full-on loop, but you see how he has a stunt cage? He has like this like little stunt thing right here. He's actually playing it smart. You know, he's got some protection for his bike. So if you guys are going to be doing stuff like that, I understand you wanting to protect your bike because you don't want to spend money. That's great. Go ahead and do that, but also protect yourself. We got some regular shoes and jeans here. So he's got a stunt cage.
What the?
It's your fault, dude. Let's go back to the original. So this is a high rate of speed. We just did a video this week on this. On lane filtering. So he's going at a high rate of speed right here. Remember, you really only want to go about 10-15 over the stopped vehicle. So if everyone is stopped, you are going 10 or 15 miles an hour. So that is the best bet there, is to go to about 10-15 miles an hour. You don't want to be going 25-30 like this. You even hear him accelerating through it. I can't tell what his speedo says. It's washed out, but look at his RPMs. His RPMs are already halfway through. So he's revving a lower gear pretty good. So he's probably in first or second gear, more than likely first gear, and just accelerating through. So this is when this is extremely dangerous when it comes to lane filtering at this high rate of speed, because at the end of the day, you don't see anything. You have a really good line of sight, but you only have line of sight that's like this. Okay, you only got like this much room. You don't have an escape path to the left or the right. That's a big problem. So right here, when we only have a line of sight that's going this way. Now, when we see the hazard, we're at a high rate of speed, so we're gonna have to apply the brakes really hard, really quick, and a lot of people are gonna have a big problem with that. They're gonna dump their bike, they're gonna wash out their front tire. So progressive brake pressure is definitely gonna help you out here, but this is not enough reaction time. Reaction time plus reaction distance plus stopping distance. All those things play into everything. So if it takes you half a second to react, that's a half a second you're traveling. If it takes you half a second to see the hazard, that's a half a second you're traveling. You have a half a second to react, which is to reach for those front brakes. Statistically, it's about a second for people to reach for those front brakes once they see the hazard. So a full second, the moment you see the hazard to the moment you're applying the brakes. And then when you're applying the brakes, it's going to probably take you quite a bit of time and quite a bit of distance to stop, especially at higher speeds. So if we are traveling at 10-15 miles an hour, that full second of reaction time is going to be the same as a full second reaction time for 45 miles an hour. But with 10 to 15, maybe 20 miles an hour, we have a certain stopping distance applied for that speed. If we're going 35, that speed and that stopping distance, that stopping distance is going to be almost double, if not triple, than what we're trying to do at 10-15 miles an hour. So whenever you see a hazard like this hazard can pop out at you at 10-15 miles an hour. This is part of the whole problem with lane filtering, is that you do have extra hazards applied to it. That's how we mitigate it, though, is by going at a slower speed, 10 to 15 miles an hour over the stopped traffic. Therefore, you're going 10-15 miles an hour. If you're doing that appropriately, you're going to give yourself that stopping distance and that reaction distance. If you're going 35, you're going to do what happens here, where he's going to try to react, but he has no time to stop, and he's going to hit this person. So he did complain, or he didn't complain. He did blame. He's like, what the heck, what are you doing for this motorist that's going to be pulling across? But at the end of the day, we should be blaming ourselves. We should be talking about, like, how can we do something differently? And in this situation, what we can do differently is be slower, a little bit slower. I find a lot of the problems that we're having in a lot of these crash videos is people going too fast for the situation. There's a time and place to go fast, and this is not the time and place. This is a time to go about 10-15 over and get to the front of the line, and if the traffic starts moving, get back in line. Because remember, guys, we could be sitting at the back of this, and this is where the whole entitlement thing happens, is that we could be sitting in traffic. Like in Arizona. In Arizona, I have to sit in this traffic. So for me, if we could just get the lane filtering law passed in Arizona, I am absolutely 100% okay with 10, 15 miles an hour over stopped traffic. Because at the end of the day, I'm used to sitting in traffic. So 10 miles an hour through traffic to the front, I am as happy as a clam. I don't care. But there comes to a time when there's people in California specifically, is that they're so used to lane filtering that they take advantage of it. And this is where we're having problems. This is why we can't have nice things. So if we could just stick with 10 to 15 miles an hour over stopped traffic, we would be fine. And it's not necessarily in a, hey, you're an idiot, don't be traveling that fast. It's more so, hey, you cannot react in time. Nobody can see you. You're putting yourself in a dangerous spot. And at the end of the day, if you're going 35 through this traffic versus 10 miles an hour through this traffic, how much time did you really save? You're probably saving yourself about 5 seconds of commute time. You're saving yourself 5 seconds of commute time going at that higher rate of speed than you would if at a safer, slower speed. So let's slow it down, let's relax, and let's not do that, okay? So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. If you guys would like to support the channel, I just posted a link in there. Become a YouTube member. If you become a YouTube member, it's only $2. You get a bunch of perks, and you can actually, if you're $5, you get to see a bunch of videos ahead of time. There's actually Monday's video. Monday's video is up for my YouTube members, the $5 and up YouTube members. That's part of your perk. You actually get to see Monday's video early if you sign up. So we're gonna watch this real quick.
What the?
Oh, nice.
Jesus
I like that.
Christ.
One sec. We never get good example. I'm sorry, guys. I get distracted. Oh, there's no, they didn't. Damn. Who is this? I'm just gonna download it. Damn it. That's a good video. Sorry, we're gonna replay it. I got distracted. I'm gonna have to download the video. I can't credit anybody on that one because there's no credits for this. All right, let's watch that one more time. Sorry, guys. I get distracted. We're gonna watch it. This is a good swerve. Boom.
Jesus.
Good job, man. That was great.
Cunt.
Okay, you don't have to say that, but whatever.
How the f did you not see me?
All right. Well, he asked the question, how did he not see him? Okay, so we're gonna play with that. So right here is a line of sight problem. You see how the vehicle in front of you is blocking any vision for you? Well, guess what? It's blocking vision for anybody else wanting to come out of that intersection. We also have let's see. There's nobody behind him. Okay, so that's good. So that's not gonna be the biggest issue. Okay, so right here, this is what he's doing. So this is what I assume the driver's doing. He looked this way. He saw this vehicle turning off, okay? He saw this vehicle turning off. He's like, okay, now that I see the vehicle turning off, I'm going to look to my left, and he's looking for any cross traffic over here, okay? So he's looking for any cross traffic. So since he looked right, he saw the vehicle pull off, which is the one in front of the motorcyclist. He's going to look left. So now he's looking left, and the motorcyclist is coming in from this way. So he's looking this way. The motorcyclist is over here. Motorcyclist is over here. He's looking that way. And he makes a decision to pull out while looking left and misses everything when it comes to the motorcyclist. So how do we prevent that? How do we prevent that? Let's not get this close to the motorist in front of us. He's in a very good position. He's actually in a very good position. So he's presenting himself to oncoming traffic. He's just not presenting himself very well when it comes to any cross traffic. So when it comes to this situation right here where you see somebody and they have a blinker, this is where you have to start recognizing hazards right away. It's very, very important. So right here, what I like to do, and Tommy, I don't know if you're in here, Tommy M, if you're in here, but when we went riding, I noticed he did it, and it was very good. And it's something that I talk about all the time. It's about presentation on the road. So in this situation, right about here, I would start to move back and forth just a little bit. I would stay in my lane position 3, back and forth, back and forth. This way, the headlight is not stationary. This way, the headlight is moving like this. Now, for us as humans and for animals, basically, is that we recognize movement. We can't recognize basically camouflage very well. We can recognize movement. So if we're moving back and forth, we see it, the person will see a headlight move like this. That will grab their attention more so than just being stagnant with everything bright. This is going to grab their attention. So I would do that in this situation, but stay in here and keep an eye on the motor or the car. But this is exactly what you should do if a car is going to pull out. Don't honk the horn. Do not rev bomb, but do an emergency maneuver, which is a swerve or a brake. He did a great job right here. So his reaction time, oh dang it, too far. So his reaction was very good. We're going to go ahead and scroll back. The moment he sees that car move, he makes a split decision. And the only way you can make a split decision is with practice and if you know where your surroundings are. So right here, as soon as he sees that, he's looking at him straight ahead. You see how the play button right here? This is pretty much center with his camera. So this right here, he's looking straight up. He's looking at the car, and as soon as he sees a move, boom, makes a movement. There's the swerve. Now, he's still looking at the car, which is fine, but he's making an evasive maneuver. You see how he has this evasive maneuver? And he's going to swerve out of the way. He's not braking. He's not holding in the clutch. He's not doing any of that stuff. And then he's moving. Perfect. And that's really all you need to do. Look how close that was. That's a close call. And sometimes, sometimes you can't prevent the close calls. Sometimes they just happen, especially at night. So let's go over some of the factors that led to this close call. We talk about factors that lead to a crash. Let's talk about factors that lead to this close call. Okay, so factor number one, we have a line of sight problem. I see that we have some questions in here. So Gata, how you doing, man? Quakers Rides, you got the mic set up? Nice. So this case is the best to be farther left and then lane position 1 in this case, and then move back to lane position 3 to reopen line of sight. Trying to think about how you're trying to say, because right now, like from the video that we see how it's like transitioning from the other video. The video that we see is that the car is already applying the brakes. The best escape paths that you have in this situation would be to the right. So if this guy just slammed the brakes and you're all the way in lane position 1, which is over here, if you're in lane position 1, this guy slams the brakes, your only escape path is in the grass or swerving across your full lane to get over here. So if this guy applies the brakes way too hard and he stops and you're like in this situation, then this position is a better position because you can swerve to the right. The big problem that we're having in this here is one of the close call factors is that he's too close. He's too close to this vehicle. He doesn't give himself enough line of sight. Just remember, guys, when you scoot back further and further away, the object in front of you gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you can see around it. So for a great example with that is that I'm going to go ahead and put this mic right here. That mic is right there. Now, see how you can't see my face very well? You can't see my face very well. So if I scoot back, now you can see more with all this. But if I'm right here, you see how much you can't see? So if you scoot back more, you can see everything. So you see right there? So I think I did it backwards. So for you guys are the motorcyclists. I was doing it for me. That's basically how you do it. So you see how you're the motorcyclist right now. This is your view. Okay, so this is the car. This is super close. That's super close, right? So if you scooted back, so I'm going to pretend you guys are scooting back. If you scoot back, you see how the mic shrinks? You have a better visibility. But if you're too close, that's how close, I mean, that's how much vision you have. But now look at it. Now look at it. When you're further back, you have all this visibility. That is what you need to do. That's what you need to do, guys. All right. There we go. You could flash the high beams, but at the end of the day, it's really about your positioning. It's really about your positioning. So one of the factors is too close to the car in front. It's also at nighttime, so our headlights and everything kind of blend in with other headlights. So that's two factors right there. And you also have to realize he's going to be looking to the other side, so he might not even be looking at you.
Jesus.
Because look at our headlights. Look at the headlights. See how it's kind of just shining at the ground? It's pretty hard to get somebody's attention. So yeah, the high beams would be reaching out to them.
Fucking Christ, you cunt. How the did you not see me?
So raining. It's raining. Oh, we got rear-ended.
Mom?
Oh, he got rear-ended hard. So let's go back. It's a pretty weird camera. It's pretty hard to notice, but you see how there's spots? See this spot right here and how it's all blurry to the right? That's because of the rain. So if it's doing that to your face shield and it's doing it to the camera, it's doing it to everybody's windshields, okay? That's a big problem. That's a big problem. So you have to realize you have lack of visibility. So if we scroll back just a little bit, I never sit in the center. So like right here, I never sit in lane position 2 at a red light. I'll sit off. See that line right there? That's where I would sit. This is also a blind turn, so maybe the guy didn't see it. He's looking at the light. He's getting ready to turn right and everything. It's a big situation, so sit off to the side like you're going to lane filter, even if you're just by yourself, just in case somebody comes up behind you. It's actually pretty rare to get hit in the back, at least in the United States. Most of the crashes that involve a motorcyclist and another vehicle is actually the motorcyclist running into a parked vehicle.
Mom? Idiot.
Construction. This is a road rage incident. I'm going to go ahead and just play through it. I remember this one. The motorcyclist is picking a fight with this massive Ford F-150 or 350, whatever you want to call it. It's a giant truck. So we're going to have issues with that. One second. There we go. So let's go back a little bit. So right here, this is kind of what preempted the road rage incident, is that this white truck is going to try to go over here and get into this lane to go, and the motorcyclist is going to say something. And then this guy might have a bad day. He just wants to get home or whatever it is. And it causes a full thing. So he honked at him to get him to go. And then this is the problem we're having.
Dude.
At that point, just leave it. Just leave it. Do not go any further. See how we have the license plate 73656FF? I think the FF means firefighter, because there's some Arizona firefighter license plates that have FF on them. So this is actually very unbecoming of a firefighter. Doubt it. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but he's got his license plate information if he wants to make anything of it. But in this situation, just scoot back and be like, okay, buddy. You are a landmine. I'm not getting near you.
You are a yeah, exactly. You're illegal, Rick.
Dude, I was letting you go. Hit me with your truck. Go.
No, shut up. Don't.
Hit me with your truck. You're on camera. Come on, you're about to be on YouTube, dude. Come on, man. You want to be on YouTube?
Stay away from the vehicle.
Pay attention to the law, dude. Huh? You want to get out? You want me to get out?
Go ahead.
Leave it. Just leave it. Here comes an intercept. Okay, so I know he's probably going to do some more of it, but yeah, this vehicle was merging into his lane, kind of freaked him out. He's looking at the vehicle. You're in his blind spot, though. Here's the problem, is that you're pretty close to his blind spot. You're not being seen within his side view mirrors, and then you're in his blind spot. You're not in his side view mirrors. You're not in his rear view mirrors. He's gonna have to do a head check. At the end of the day, just because somebody didn't do a head check doesn't give you the right to be in their blind spot. So let's stay out of this blind spot area. So that's, if it happens, it happens. And it happens to me almost all the time. Okay. Here's the thing: is this is gonna happen to you if you're a new rider, you haven't been riding. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen to you in a car. It's gonna happen with me in an ambulance or a fire truck. Trust me. I've been cut off, I don't know how many times, in a freaking ambulance and fire truck while I'm driving. And then while other people are driving, it happens all the time too. People just can't see you sometimes. They just don't. And if they don't, and nobody got hurt, cool, end of story. To do that, look where you're going though. Oh! You see how that pedestrian almost got hit? And it was a car that almost hit him? So it happens to cars all the time. So this is actually a pretty good video, to be honest. So let's go back to that. So this is something you got to be careful about. Oh! So lane filtering. Dude's still going for it. If any of you guys hit somebody's mirror after something like this, please unsubscribe. Oh! So this vehicle is going to want to merge over, and I don't know it's not proper etiquette to do that and to just keep pushing a motorcyclist to the right. That was very, very aggressive. In that situation, here's the thing, guys. If you can't go forward, go backwards. You can't go left, you can't go right, you can't go forward. You still have the ability to go backwards. And in order to go backwards, apply the brakes and let the person go ahead of you. Do not pick fights with other vehicles. So we got a gap right here. This is an opportunity for somebody to get in there, and that's what this guy did. This person in the car just does not care. The chat window on the right, that's your guys' chat. That's your guys' chat right now. So if you chat, that's what happens. All right, so right here, in this situation, apply the brakes. Just apply the brakes and get out of that. So move over to the right and start applying the brakes. Here's what I don't understand. And I kind of get it from their point of view, is that some people say, well, we hit the mirrors because they're not using them anyways. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I accidentally, like I remember there's one specific time where I switched lanes and I didn't check my blind spot, and I was in a car and another car honked at me. And this is when I was first starting to drive. And ever since then, it scared me enough to check my blind spots and my mirrors. There's always going to be that situation in somebody's life when they're driving that it's going to cause them. It's going to be like, wow, I need to pay attention to that. If you do this and you break their mirrors, you're not helping. You're making things worse for that driver to now. Maybe they're not going to buy a new mirror. Maybe they're not going to check for things. Now they're going to hate motorcyclists and not care if they hit them or cut them off. This is where it's not very good. You should not be doing that. You really should not be doing that. Little Grom. Oh. He bounced.
You okay?
He,
Yo. up? What hurts? Your ribs?
Oh yeah, I forgot we had
You need
Nikes.
to call 911?
We're gonna go back to that one. We're gonna do this one as a little EMS situation. Because at the end of the day, we all know why he crashed, right? I think everybody understands why he crashed. He he messed up his stunting. He fell face first, landed on his chest, landed on his knees, all that stuff. So we're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over what happened, and we're gonna go over what type of injury. So what I talk about all the time is mechanism. Yeah, Master Regal, I see you in the Discord. I did say hi to you. Thank you for being part of the Discord, man. That's awesome. So, L-Tech, I don't hate them. I mean, that's your choice. I mean, I don't hate stunters. I think it's a really cool thing that they do. They have full control of the bike in a different way. I mean, it's almost the same as saying you don't like track riders in kind of in a way, because track riders have absolute. I mean, they're attempting to have good control over the bikes at a high rate of speed with cornering and stuff. Stunters tend to have, or they try to have, a lot of control over the bike over, you know, wheelies and vertical type stuff, and I think it's really cool. There is a time and place. So I feel like stunters that do this on open roads, or I mean on public roads, are the same as the type of people that do street racing. So that to me is kind of where I'm at with stunters. So if you stunt in a closed parking lot, great. If you race on a track, great. If you stunt on an open road like this is at nighttime, there's no traffic, so this might be the safest spot for them to do it, then that's fine. I mean, this right here is fine. If you're doing it in a public area where there's a bunch of traffic, that's not fine. If you're racing in a public traffic, that's not fine either. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at on that. But everyone has their own opinion, and I respect your opinion, man. L-Tech, good job. I mean, it's fine. Thank you for commenting though, because other people might agree, other people will disagree with me. So that's cool. Anyways, we're gonna go over the mechanical part of this, or the mechanism of injury. Mechanism of injury is based off of the incident. So when something happens, when there's a crash, and you see, let's say, you go up to a scene and there's like a car inside a building. So the mechanism of injury for the car inside a building, like they crash into it, that right there is a high rate of speed with impact, blunt trauma. So that's the type of stuff I'll be witnessing. And if it's a car and the driver that went into the house, I'm thinking that he went up and over the steering wheel or down and below. So if I'm expecting chest trauma, I'm expecting arm trauma. If airbags went off, I'm expecting facial trauma, some burns around the wrists. I'm expecting, quite possibly, since vehicles into houses and buildings isn't very common, quite possibly it could have been a medical emergency that led to the crash. So now I'm starting to think, okay, I gotta... Chianty Yang, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the super chat, everybody. If you guys super chat and you write something in, I will shout you out. That was a super sticker, actually. I love that. So that's the kind of stuff I look for when it comes to mechanism of injury. So right here with this mechanism of injury, if I showed up on scene, I'm gonna notice it's a single vehicle motorcycle crash. No other vehicles are gonna hit it, so I'm not really too concerned about high level impact trauma. I'm more concerned about road rash. And then I'm going to go ahead and work into airway breathing circulation. So right here we have this crash. So we're going to go a little bit slower on this. We're going to kind of go frame by frame. So this is the moment of impact. Okay, so this is the moment right there. So his foot touches. He's not wearing full gear. He's not wearing anything other than a helmet and gloves. Okay, so his foot trauma could be relatively high. So these shoes will slide off. They will fly off of your feet when you're riding if you crash like that. Robert Ricker became a YouTube member. Yeah, boy. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member, man. Robert Ricker. I absolutely love your name, dude. Love your name. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you, Chianty, for the support. I appreciate it so much. But guys, yeah, if you want to become a YouTube member, please do so. And if you want to watch more so the crash stuff without all the commentary and talking with you guys, I do have videos every day. But the whole point of live streams is to hang out with you guys. So right here, we're going to have trauma to his feet, quite possibly. Let's go ahead and scroll back just a little bit. The moment your feet go down, so now he's going to have shin and knee, because your feet hit, and then you're going to fall forward, and you're going to hit your knees next. Okay, if you don't have impact-resistant material, which is your pads in your knee armor, you're going to have very high mechanisms. So you're going to have very high trauma to the patella, patellar tendon, depending if you hit your tib fib. you're gonna start to have road rash now. So you're gonna actually get probably 2nd and 3rd degree road rash. You're gonna remove a lot since this is the initial drop. You're gonna move a lot of flesh to your knees. So that's a big issue. So now we're gonna go forward. So he hits his knees, boom, there's the road rash, there's the impact trauma. So you could have fractured bones. Now we're gonna go forward. So he has his hands out. So you're gonna have your hands. You're gonna have hand trauma. You're gonna have trauma on the palm of your hands. And let's go ahead. I'm gonna switch over to here real quick. Andrew Diaz, boy. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate everything so much, man. That's awesome. So awesome. Oh, thanks, Robert. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. Open to help with the email newsletters. Yeah, I'm working on a bunch of stuff. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So the hand trauma. So you put your hand down. There's a reason why we have armor on our hands. You see all the reinforced stitching on this? All the reinforced stitching on the hand. That's why there's a side stitching and extra leather on these gloves. That right there is designed to help out with the impact, and it's also designed to help out with the abrasion. That's why you need to have proper motorcycle gloves, okay? That's very important. So that's where he's at right here, is that he puts his hands out, okay? So he's putting his hands out. The next thing that's going to impact is his chest. So if he pretty much, belly flopped onto the ground, he's going to knock a lot of wind out of his chest. And what happens there is that your lungs are filled. If your lungs are filled, like you take in a deep breath and then you drop like this, it's immediately going to push all that oxygen, and well, it's not mostly oxygen, it's mostly nitrogen in the air, but you're going to push out all the air in your lungs, and your body and diaphragm, like your diaphragm wasn't ready for that. Your diaphragm wasn't ready to push that air out. So now you're having that situation where you have a spasm in your diaphragm trying to compensate for what just happened. And on top of that, you quite possibly could have some fractured ribs. Depending on how severe the fractured ribs are, they can prevent you to breathe. And they can also puncture your lungs, and you'll have a tension pneumothorax, a hemopneumothorax, which is basically fluid building up between the lungs and then the outer casing, which is basically the rib cage area. It's kind of hard to describe if I go into super detail. Pneumothorax is when you have air filling up in that area. So that right there is a very dangerous situation. You can also have a flail chest wound, which is basically your ribs. If you have two ribs like this, let's go ahead and scroll to here. So if you have two ribs like this, so you have multiple ribs, they're kind of like this, right? Well, if you have two ribs here and you break off a piece right here, and right here, and right here, and right here, your rib cage will continuously try to move when you're breathing, but these portions, this portion that got broken all the way around it, are going to stay there. So when that happens, when you take a breath in, your rib cage expands, but these ones stay here. You see how your rib cage is expanding and these ones stay here? That's going to prevent you from breathing very well. And that's called a flail chest wound. And that's something that you can definitely have in this situation. So he's going to hit his head also. So there's the bounce. So he's going to hit his head. He's going to land. So there's the foot trauma, knee trauma, hand trauma, chest trauma, head trauma. He's going to bounce. And right here, he's going to touch the ground right there. He quite possibly could have spinal trauma. So he landed on his back. Spinal trauma. So you can break off the little spinal processes. There's a basically like a little dinosaur tail bones, like little spikes on the back of the bones, like a stegosaurus. You have little itty bitty ones on your spine, and they're called the spinal process. Those little bumps you feel on your spine, that's not your whole, that's not like the big piece of your spine. That's just a little piece of bone. So if you can feel somebody's back along their spine, those little bumps, those are called spinal processes. You can actually break those off and have a big problem. Very painful. So he could possibly have some of those broken off right here. But also remember your shoulder blades. Shoulder blades are very strong, but you can actually crack them. The back of his head, he could have a concussion now with this. So he bounced off the thing. I'm moving forward. Oh, I'm moving backwards. I was like, I'm moving forward. So he, boom, bounces, possibly breaks some spinal processes, hits his head. Now he's going to start rolling. The bike I don't care too much about. This is what I care about now. Boom. Boom.
You okay? Yo.
So in this situation, when you're going up to him, he's not defending himself whatsoever. You can hear his groaning. You can hear the agitation in his voice. He's definitely in a lot of pain. Since he's not speaking full words, David, he's not speaking full sentences. He's not talking. Therefore, there is a breathing problem. If you ask somebody a question and they're like, oh, or first, let me scale that back. Let's go ahead and go over here. If you have a concern about somebody's breathing, and then you ask them, "Are you having trouble breathing?" They're like, "Yeah, man, I'm having trouble breathing. And, it's starting to get like a little tight right here, and every time I do this, it hurts, and it's very difficult to breathe." They just spoke words, a lot of words, and they did they just said it's painful. Okay, difficulty breathing versus painful breathing is a little bit different. If you're going like, I can't, that's difficulty breathing. That is difficulty breathing. So if you see something like that, I understand. It's like, well, when I was a kid, when people would do that, they would be like, oh, well, we're fine. That's when somebody like went for a fly ball and fell on their back and knocked the wind out, right? We're going 30 miles an hour. He dropped the bike, went face first into the ground. So there's a different mechanism of injury there. So it's not necessarily only losing your air. You could have trauma that causes the air to escape. So in this situation, I would definitely call 911. Yeah, L-Tech, I'm a firefighter. Or I was. Doing this full time now, boys. So in this situation, what I would do is I would call 911. And he's having difficulty breathing. So this is kind of one of the situations. He is breathing now, but this is one of those situations where I need to monitor his breathing. If he comes to a point where he's not breathing anymore, that's when you take the helmet off. In this situation right now, leave the helmet on, maybe loosen up the strap so he can, take bigger mouth openings. He can breathe with his mouth if he has to. But like loosen the strap, but do not take the helmet off yet, because we still need to get rid of, we still need to be cognizant of his C-spine, his cervical spine, make sure he doesn't have a neck injury. But I'd call 911. EMS will show up, fire will show up, police will show up, and you don't have to say anything, guys. And here's the thing, you don't have to say anything. Don't say, he was stunting, he was trying to do a wheelie. Just say, and I'm giving this to you guys so that you aren't scared to call 911. Just say he accidentally applied the brakes or something locked up, he crashed and fell. That's all you have to say. There's no witnesses, right? There's no witnesses. There's nobody that said anything. The main goal in this situation is to get you some help. It's not to get you in trouble, not to scare anybody. You could literally say, I don't know, I was in front of him and he crashed around comms. I heard him say something. I turned around and I saw him. I mean, you can make up whatever you want, make it as innocent as possible. The main goal is to get your buddy some help, right? The main goal is to get your buddy some help. So call 911, do all that stuff, and by the time they get there, or if they get there and your buddy's fine, everything, there's no issues, nothing, you can refuse service. Okay, so you can actually refuse the service, because if they just put you in the back of the ambulance without you consenting, that's kidnapping. So if you're conscious and alert and you say, no, I don't want to go, and they put you in the back of the ambulance, you just got kidnapped. That's illegal. If you're unconscious, that's called implied consent. So if you're unconscious, it's implied that as an unconscious person, you would want to receive medical care so that you can stay alive. That's the whole implied consent. But if you're conscious and aware, you could say no, and all you have to do is sign a piece of paper, and you don't get billed for anything. Okay? So guys, call 911, especially in this situation.
What's up? What hurts? Your ribs?
Exactly, Scott. So speed will help. EMS doesn't care if you're speeding or not, just how fast you're going for what issues might pop up. Exactly. I don't care what speed you're going. I just care that you're okay, and I'm going to do whatever I possibly can in that situation to mitigate any of the problems. So if you have difficulty breathing, I'm going to give you some oxygen. I'm going to check and make sure you don't have any broken ribs or anything like that. And if you have a flailed chest wound, there's some things that we can do. If you have a punctured chest, if you have a help me out here, Scott. It's been a while, dude. I've been doing YouTube full time for a year and a half now. I haven't been a firefighter for a while. But there's a bunch of stuff that you can definitely do like that. What's your thoughts on moving him off the road, or we just try and stop traffic? I would just try and stop traffic. So in this situation, that's a great question. So right here, see how we're facing oncoming traffic, pneumothorax, hemopneumothorax? Yeah, but what about, sucking chest wound? That's what I'm trying to think of, sucking chest wound. There's things that we can do about that. But you see how there's no traffic? What I would do, let's go ahead and go back just a little bit. So he crashed. So in this situation, since he crashed and there's oncoming traffic behind me, I'd pull the bike around and I would have my bike's headlights facing oncoming traffic. Therefore, they'll know that there's something there, So that way I'll stop traffic. I wouldn't move him.
You okay?
Until he decided everything's fine. So I'd have my bike like right here, and I would have it facing towards oncoming traffic or off to the side so it's not blinding them. So like at a 45-degree angle, I'll be pointing my bike towards this light basically. And hopefully that will stop some people.
Yo. What's up? What hurts? Your ribs? You need to call 911?
Oh, got scared. Got scared. Yeah, it's a little bit fast for a single track road, basically.
911?
So right here we have a small road, very small road. It's a blind turn. You can't see what's around it. So in this situation, be as far to the right as possible. And if you're scared about being too close to the right because of gravel and all that stuff and dirt, then take it slower. There's nothing that says you have to take this road fast. Especially this blind turn. I mean, these straightaways, you can go ahead and pick up some speed. You can see what's happening. But if you can't see what's happening, see you later, Lion. If you can't see what's happening, then you need to take it slower and give yourself as much room as possible. So in this situation, this car's coming around. This is what's panicking everybody. This car, oh crap, oh crap. Everybody's going to have that a reaction. So if you're new and you're like, oh man, I'm having these reactions like, oh crap all the time, that's perfectly fine. A lot of people are going to have those oh crap moments. It's just that how do you react to it? How do you react to it? And this is how he reacts to it. Let's go ahead and slow it down just a little bit. He reacts to it by putting his foot down. That should not be your first reaction. That right there is a reaction of I need to stop. And the only thing I could think of right now is all the brakes and then put my feet down. Like I'm going to put my feet down, I'm going to stop. That is a terrible reaction to have. In this situation, it should be to slow down just a little bit. And then after the car goes, move out of the way. And if you absolutely have to, go ahead and go off the road. Go straight, but keep your feet on and aim for a spot that's not there or with no trees. But here's the thing. This vehicle is probably also going fast. This guy's also going fast. These are blind turns. We should not be going fast. I have no control over what that car does. If that car wants to go fast, then that's just the situation I'm in. I have control over what I want to do, and if it's going to be a blind turn, I'm going to slow down myself.
Ja,
Nope. That's my biggest fear right there. Oh, with the passenger, I forgot. Oh, it hurt him. It hurt him bad.
Co małeś nogę?
Żyje? Żyje?
He did a tough mutter. That's cool. I've done one of those.
Wody się wyjebał.
Let's go back to this one. I remember seeing this video, and I think there was like a crash, or another crash, like right over here. Oh, sorry. There was like a crash over to the left. That's why they're looking that way. Let's go ahead and scroll back just a little bit. I think there was like a crash like right over here. I think there was. It was Andrew. You. But this is why I say this is like my biggest fear. Is that we're right behind this vehicle. We're not in a position that we have good line of sight. And we also have traffic behind us. Okay. That's one of the biggest problems, and one of my biggest fears is that I'm going to get sandwiched. And I think a lot of people have that fear. But I had this fear for a long time before even motorcycling. I had this fear when it came to, Scott probably understands it, when we'd be on scene of a traffic collision. You never, ever, 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 ever want to be in between vehicles on the road. Ever, 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 ever. And I think that's probably why every single time I pull up to a stoplight, stop sign, I'm off-centered. Is because you never, ever, 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 ever want to be between vehicles on the road. Because you can get sandwiched and killed. And there's so many police officers that have died this way. There's so many firefighters that have been severely injured and died this way. If you are in between vehicles. So I would be off in lane position 1 in this situation. I want line of sight down this whole path, and I want to be off to the side. So he got impacted, and this is why I'm saying this is one of my biggest fears, is that look where he lands. He's right here. Imagine if that vehicle never slowed down and stopped. Your head just got smashed between two vehicles. And that could quite possibly happen very easily. So that to me is enough reason to be off to the side right here. I want to be off to the side. So while I'm pulling up to this, I'm going to move over to the left, and then I'm going to put my nose right next to this vehicle. You know what I mean? That's what I would be doing. I see some new people in the Discord. That is so awesome. Guys, if you'd like to be part of the Discord, I'm not ending the stream yet, but I'm showing you guys what the Discord is. Look at this. Master, how you doing, man? But yeah, the Discord is actually pretty cool. We got CyberRat in here, S.M.A.R.T in here. We have a bunch of people in the Discord. So join the Discord, guys. Join the Discord. Oops, sorry. There we go. So if you'd like to join the Discord, that's it right there. Oh, so when you start doing that, when you start lipping like that, it's an obvious injury. And he's holding his knee. Do you see how he's holding his knee? I mean, that's where the pain is. But who knows? He could have pain somewhere else too. Or he have injuries somewhere else, like his tib fib, his femur, and possibly his hip. But he's holding his knee. So he probably fell off and hit his right knee very hard. And these look like regular jeans. Got so lucky. So this situation, I don't know exactly what happened. I'm assuming this truck couldn't stop in time because of this vehicle, so he tried to do his own evasive maneuvers to move over to the right. And this is just another one of those situations. A lot of people, like I said, are scared. 4231. Did we just get... I'm looking at the donations. So where it says sponsor me next to your guys' chat, that is for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. So the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, guys, if you don't know what that is, I'm raising money for prostate cancer research and men's mental health. And it looks like we just got a donation. I'm sorry, I get distracted. I'm going to see who donated. Dark Horse. Dude. Robert. Thank you so much for the donation, man. So help me support men's mental health, guys. Click that link and donate whatever it is you can. I have the ride. I'm riding Sunday. I'm riding Sunday, guys. Cannot wait. I'm having a great time talking to you guys, but man, I can't wait to ride. I really can't wait to ride. So if you'd like to support the channel, or I'm not channel, but if you'd like to support men's mental health, that's the way to do it. Thank you so much. Everybody sees Robert Malasek right there with the pink beard. Everybody say thank you so much to Robert. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. That's awesome, man. Techno, I haven't installed it yet. I was going to do it after the stream because I want to get it prepped for Sunday. David, I might. Yeah. I mean, Sunday is the DGR, but it's also a meetup. At the end of the day, there's some points in time where I just want to relax and actually do some motorcycling stuff and not have to deal with, you know, the video portion. So maybe I won't. But the point is to hang out with you guys. You know what I mean? So I have a feeling this guy had to move over here because he couldn't stop in time. But this is those situations where I still park my tires basically on this line. Okay. There's not much you could have done in this situation. This is just one of those things where, you know, foobar, you know what I mean? It just happens. Oh! Ah, I forgot about that. Okay, we're gonna go back. Ooh, I'm surprised he didn't tip either. Oh, that was so quick. Oh my god, I had to like fix my headphones. Got this hat right here, dog. Robert, do you have this hat? It's the Wrecking Crew Indian motorcycle hat. Absolutely love it. Last time I went to India and I got this hat. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Here we go. You guys ready? Hey, there's my van. It's like one of my vans right there. That big old van. I'm gonna get one. The 2020s when they come out, I'm getting it. I think Nikki and I came to the conclusion that we're gonna trade in all our vehicles to get the van. So we're going full on DDFM crew. Oh my gosh, here we go. You guys ready? Oh, I paused it at the perfect moment. Wow. Wow. Woo. There's no point in having a modular helmet when you have it up all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're riding, might as well have the full face. I can't imagine the trauma involved. Always, always look left, look right, look left again. I think that's her foot right there. I think that's her foot right there. Oh, she went up and over. You see that? That's up and over. That's her scooter. That's her scooter right there. Let me go ahead and scroll that up. That's her scooter right there. So she's up and over the handlebars. Oh my gosh. I wish I could see more. Okay. Perfect. This is what I love about doing frame by frame. So that's the shield. That's the visor coming off of his helmet. So that's his head. His head hit so hard that his shield flew off. So she's up and over. That's her left arm. That's her butt. She's up and over. That is a high mechanism of injury. So that's femur. That's all lower extremity. That's hip. That's a possible open book fracture. Possible crack to the iliac crest. Possible everything. I mean, you got your bladder down there, so you can have a ruptured bladder. Your kidneys could be hurt. Pancreas, liver, stomach, large intestine. Basically, your whole stomach area. Very painful. massive internal bleeding with solid organs. Hollow organs are going to fill up with blood. I hate seeing this. I really do. But I have to watch it. Yep, there she is. So her shoe, this is what I'm talking about. That's her shoe right there. That's her right foot. That's her left foot. So shoes, they tend to fly off in a motorcycle crash or car crash. Pedestrians, when they get hit, their shoes fly off. Now, it depends on where they've been hit, because their shoes can fly off their feet, or their feet can fly off with their shoes. And I've seen that. That's his bike. That's his handlebars. You can see a mirror there. So his bike is done. This is an angular injury, so you're gonna have a lot of torsion problems. So you can have like his socket right here. His arm could be easily pulled out of his socket right there. And his leg, he's gonna have some trauma. Hi, Scott. I know you're probably on your day off and you probably don't want to see this stuff. This is why I do it, guys. This is why I make these videos. This is why I focused on motorcycle safety. Yeah, it's definitely a level 1. This is why I don't want you guys to have to deal with this at all. 36-hour shift. Oh my gosh. Well, that sucks even worse. Yep, L-Tech. Yep. So that's her bike. That's her bike. Her full, like, this tire is touching the scooter portion, so that it completely demolished the frame. If it can demolish the frame like that, guys, imagine what it's doing to your body. She just hit the ground. That's her hitting the ground. That's her leg. This is her leg. It's all funky. It's motion blur because the camera's spinning. So her leg's not that long, obviously. And that's her other body, or other leg, and then she's going head first. So knee and head first into the ground. Oh my gosh. Andrew, yes. Motorcycle shoes and boots. Here's the thing, guys. Boots have a tougher time of flying off. If you just get those really crappy motorcycle shoes, and I don't want to say crappy, but they don't really offer too much, okay? Because you have to think about it. Let's go back just a little bit. You have to think about it. So you have your feet, okay? So your feet's on the ground, okay? Perfect. You have a shoe, okay? Great. It's going to cover right below the ankle. From right below the ankle to your knee, you're going to have no protection whatsoever. At your knee, you're going to have the armor. So from the ankle to the knee, you have no protection, and that's where a lot of the trauma happens. So for me, personally, I will always get boots. So I want a boot that's going to cover at a high calf, because I want my calf protected and my tib fib protected. And then I'm going to have like the smallest of gaps in between my knee armor and my boots. And you can get knee armor that covers a lot of the shin too. So now I have full protection from the tip of my toe all the way up to the very top of my knee. That's where I have protection. If you don't have something like that, you just have shoes, it's not going to be that. It's only going to prevent maybe some crush injury to the feet, but you're going to have a lot of problem when it comes to the ankle. The ankle is the weak part. So have something like that. And if you have a boot or anything that's above the ankle, it has a harder chance of flying off, especially if you keep it nice and tight. Got some buffering. You might have to lower your quality. YouTube does a good job when it comes to streaming. They changed the bitrate. He's gonna go into your lane. Oh, is this the problem? That's not a big deal. Look where you're going, dude. This is a road rage incident.
You need to use your mirrors, man. You nearly killed him.
No, I saw you. Well, you were way back.
Yeah,
I didn't
you
see
missed him by this much.
Oh, mate, I am so sorry.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry, man.
Just want to warn you.
Mate, I'm so sorry. I saw him.
Yeah,
mate, I do apologise.
Millimeters.
Man. I use my mirrors. This one's a bit fucked up, but I can see under there. And this one, both.
Yeah.
Mate.
So you see how there's frost? I mean, you can't blame the dude. There's frost everywhere. You can't see very well. And if we scroll back, because he said millimeters. In this situation, slow down. Let's go ahead and move this down a little bit. In this situation, slow down. You see him merging, slow down. This happens all the time. So that's not millimeters, but it's close. Okay, this happens. If that happens, then for you as the motorcycle rider, the guy up front, roll off the throttle, get yourself in a better position, which would probably be in lane position 3 so you can see around the vehicle. That's it. Don't do this, because who knows? This guy was super polite. The bus driver was super polite. Imagine if it was like that truck and you blocked him and then got in front of him. Do you think the truck driver is going to just pull over and park? No, he's going to run your ass over. So that's where I you know, this is the best case scenario with road rage. I don't trust. I just don't feel good with that. I personally don't feel good with that. I know some of you guys probably do, but I don't feel good. Steven, what earplugs do you recommend to use? Anything that is within your budget. I personally have my Cardo Pack Talk Slim hooked up with some headphones, and I put little bullet headphones in my ears. And I don't listen to music unless you know I'm riding long distance or just, you know, whatever. But that right there will block a lot of the wind noise. And if I do get a call and I have to answer it, then see you later, LTech. If I have to answer it, I have the opportunity to answer it. But yeah, pretty much find any headphones or earplugs that you can that will fit within your helmet that's comfortable. I personally don't. I don't have specific ones for that. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. I see 36 likes and like 100 people watching. Let's go and hit that like button, boys. Most people make honest mistakes on the road. Calm down, breathe, and move on. Exactly. I think all the YouTube members here have like the best like philosophy. I mean, it just tends to like be the ones that are YouTube members that have that calm personality. So I really like that. I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyways, random question. Do you have thoughts on in-ear headphones while riding? Oh, there you go. I have a fear that when I were to get in an accident, they would get shoved into my ear. They won't get shoved into your ear. And if they do, it's not going to be that much. They're not going to get shoved into your ear. If you have like really big ones that stick out past your ear, then possibly. But I have little tiny ones. Let me go ahead and grab them. So I have little tiny ones. So, I mean, they're like super tiny. Super duper tiny. There we go. Super tiny. And they don't stick very, look at it. They don't stick out of my ear. And with the spaces for the helmets for speakers, I don't have speakers in my head or my helmet. So I have like this nice space around my ear. So it works out pretty well. So I just use like little cheap Sony ones. Little Sony ones. That's it. And if you're ever in, like, for Scott says, if you're ever in an accident, what you can do is just grab the wires and just pull them out of your ears. I mean, you're in an accident already, so. What's up, Multi-Dean98, boy? Mintai Tran, hello from Sweden. I'm a former firefighter, but now I work as an instructor in fire safety and CPR first aid. I love riding motorcycles, so love your videos. Keep the good work. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. If you go up Mount Lemon, they pop out. Yeah, that's another thing you got to, like, you know, swallow and pop your ears and stuff.
You nearly f***ing killed him, you dick!
Evil Penguin just joined
You need to
the
use your
Discord.
mirrors, man. You nearly f***ing killed him.
Welcome.
No, I saw you. Well, you were way back.
Yeah.
I didn't
You
see
missed him by this much.
Oh, mate, I am so sorry.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry, man.
Just want to warn you.
Mate,
It's all
I'm so
good.
sorry. I saw him.
Yeah,
Mate, I
millimeters.
do apologise.
It wasn't
mate. I
millimeters.
used my mirrors. This one's a bit fucked up, but I can see under there. And this one, both.
Yeah.
But, mate, I am so sorry.
good, all
Because
good.
I ride myself now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
Mate,
that you
shit,
came so
I can't do
close,
that.
and it's just like, oh my
Mate,
god.
mate, I am so.
Verbal judo did very well on that one. Thank you, Chianty Yang, for the donation to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Appreciate it a lot, man. Guys, if you would like to support me and help me raise as much money as possible for men's mental health and prostate cancer research, I have a ride this Sunday for it. So Sunday is the last day to do it. So help out, guys. Donate to that. I don't get any of the money. It goes straight to the organization to help out people, especially men. I mean, the whole thing's men. So it's going to help out men get the help they need. And it's a huge cause that I really, really, really support. So let me go ahead and refresh this. There we go. Let's see it refresh. We're at 4231. Where are we at now? 4256. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, man. Donate what you can, guys. If it's $2, $1, $5,000, whatever it is you can, let's do it. I donated quite a bit myself because I have my own mental health problems too. I actually just got a therapy appointment, counseling appointment next Friday. So pretty excited about that. How do you get over the fear of not having fear when riding? So you want to have fear? You want to have fear?
So sorry.
He's pushing that bike to its limit. So the crash factor here is redlining it and pushing your bike past its limits. Speed wobbles. Called it. So if you're putting your bike past its limits like that, you're not only redlining your engine, but you're also pushing the suspension past its limits. You're pushing your brakes past its limits. You're pushing everything past its limits. Like your tires. Your tires are probably not rated. These ones specifically, probably not rated for that speed. So that was a loss of traction and quite possibly a mini tank slapper, which is going to throw him off of where he's supposed to be, and it's going to throw him off the road. So do not put your bike through that. If you're trying to drive on a road that has a higher speed limit than like what your bike's capable of, like let's say you're trying to get on the interstate with a Grom, don't take side roads. Your bike is not designed for that. I know it's a shorter route if you go to the interstate, but your bike's not designed for that, guys. Sorry, I was checking the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. I missed this. Oh, foot down, foot down, foot down, foot down. Okay. Oh, that's the problem. So he must have hit something. What did he hit? I think his rear tire slid. And he might have been trying something, and then it caused his rear tire to lose traction. Is he trying to drift? Is that what that is? Let me look at it in slow-mo. So she has her... Is that her phone? No, it's a sign in the back. I thought she was, like, filming this. All right. Slow-mo it. I think he might have been attempting to do something and just lost control of his bike. This is just a weird situation because you start adding in factors, and the one factor in this situation I don't know is stunting. I don't stunt. I don't do wheelies. I kind of have an idea of how to do it. I've watched plenty of YouTube videos on like how to do a wheelie just so I can get some information, but I never attempted to do it on my own bike because I care about my stuff more. You know what I mean? So his rear tire, it looks like it might have locked up, but he was doing something, and there's the slide. But this is what a low side looks like a little bit. So you start to do a little low side right there. It looks like a drift almost. So he's fishtailing. And then when you go too far, sometimes it launches you forward. So that is a high side now. So it turned from a low side to a high side, and it's very dangerous. That's an ejection. And this is one of those things where it's like, dude, you're on a bridge. Let's not do stuff on the bridge, especially, and during a turn. You have a very high chance of just killing yourself. Oh, check it out. Yeah, quite possibly. Chain snap. I didn't even think about that. His chain could have snapped. That could easily happen. This is a Grom. I can't tell, but his chain could have snapped. That's a good... Look, there's the shoe. There's the shoe. I want some Nikes in the chat. If you're a YouTube member, you get special emojis. And I put Nikes in there because we're seeing so many people with just shoes, especially Nikes. So these are all the special emojis you get if you become a YouTube member. So guys, become a YouTube member. Yeah, dude, seriously, the shoes. Become a YouTube member. Oh, we got another donation. We got another donation to... Oh, you guys are amazing. Absolutely love you. Robert, dude. Bless everybody that donates. Gator, too. Oh, my gosh. The dad hat's coming off. Robert, Brian, the Gator, Chianty, and Dark Horse today during the stream with the donations for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. You guys are absolutely badass. I'm going to put the hat back on because I realize I look a lot better with the hat on. Thank you so much for the donations to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. I was just about to say join as a YouTube member for the cool emojis, but you know what, guys? The Distinguished Gentleman's Ride and men's mental health is bigger than me. So do not donate to me. Do not super chat me. Do not become a YouTube member for the rest of the stream. Support men's mental health. Plus 12 to wisdom. I love video game references, especially RPGs. Support men's mental health by clicking that link. I'd rather you do that. Save every cent that you would feel like you want to support with me, and let's do that. Okay. Next year, guys, we're going to hit 10,000. I don't think we're going to hit 10,000 this year, but next year we will. Next year we will. Okay, I want you guys to be here next year with me. What exactly happens when a chain snaps, and how do you deal with it? I was thinking you lose power and just engine brake. You can. In fact, let's go ahead and see what we can find. Let's go back to YouTube's. Hey, there we are. Analyzing reckless motorcycle crashes. 88 watching. Come on, guys. Let's get that a little bit bigger. Know what I'm saying? So, motorcycle chain snap. I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of people. So, loose chain causes a high side crash. Let's watch that one real quick. Nice graphics, bro. Proper chain maintenance, guys. Oh. There it is. It fell off. So it got locked up. It got locked up in the tire. That's a high mechanism. So the chain fell off because it was loose. This is where having a T-clocks, you're checking your chain maintenance, you're checking everything, you're making sure everything is tight, or to spec to what your bike is designed for. He does have sliders here, but as you can tell, there's damage everywhere because a high side is not going to protect against that. The sliders will help against sliding, not the whole ejection thing. So it locked up his actual tire. It locked up everything. It either got, stuck in here, so it quite possibly got stuck in between the sprocket and the axle right here, and it just locked it up, and that's what's going to happen. Yeah, shaft drive. So the only issue I think with shaft drives is that you have to make sure you have enough of the oil in there, or it's going to burn up. Chain, you're going to have this issue. on 189 miles an hour. Oh my gosh. With belts, they'll just snap. 1 second. I'm not going to watch 6 minutes. Where is it at? Exactly. I'm not watching it, all of it. So his buddy's right there. No, that's him. Did he pull over? Did he say pull over? So high rate of speed, your chains, just like your tires, are rated for a certain speed. If you have a really crappy chain, or just the bare minimum that's needed, like the one that comes from stock, unless you have like a really high performance bike, that can break at a high rate of speed. You need to have a chain that is there and designed for that speed, and you're not going to find a lot of those things for the consumer market. You see how he's revving it? He's trying to go, but he has no power. His chain snapped. His chain is gone. So there's two things that could happen. Dude, no problem, Kevin. No problem, man. No problem. Take care of yourself first. That's the biggest thing. So his chain snapped and's gone. So you're going to have multiple things that can happen. You're going to have the thing where this happens, where the dude flew off and crashed. Or you're going to have something like this where it just snaps off and goes away. This right here is the best case scenario where nothing really happens. But if we go back, there's going to be some others where the thing snaps and it damages the bike, like bad. This is a low speed incident, so his chain might not be in the best condition if this is how it snaps. It's probably like a rusty chain then if it's at this speed. There it is. Oh, see how it locked him up? It locked him up. There's the chain.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So that could happen. So it's low speed, locks him. See how the rear brake base or the rear tire is just sliding? It locked up that rear tire. That he's lucky he's going to low speed. If it was at a higher speed, he would have flown off. So that's why you really need to have proper maintenance on that chain. So guys, you have to think about that proper maintenance. The best thing that I found was just not to have a chain, but I mean some bikes, they just have chains. I love belts. I had the same belt on my Harley Sportster from the day I bought it until the day I sold it, and I took that thing off road. I did a bunch of crazy crap with it. It's got 30,000 miles on that belt, no maintenance whatsoever, just checking for gouges, all that stuff. Perfectly fine. I think belts are really good. Honestly, if you have a belt, you're in a good spot. That was a delightful chain snap. But yeah, chains, you have to take care of it. So from what I heard, every 2 or 3 fill-ups, so about every 200 to 300 miles, and then especially after riding in inclement weather like rain and stuff like that, it's just gonna get all grimy. You got to take care of it. Blind turn. Okay, opened up. Oh, a little too wide, too fast. Could have been way worse. That could have been way worse. I don't know how he's gonna get that bike out. That's the biggest problem. So this is what I talk about when it comes to riding a little bit outside your limits. Okay, he's trying to keep up with his buddy here. And that's gonna be a big problem. That's gonna be a big problem because, excuse me, you're riding at his limits. His limits might be higher than yours or lower than yours. So if you're going to have somebody up front, have somebody with less of a skill level than you, because now you're riding at their ability, their limits, and they're going to be dictating how the pace is going, whether, you know, it's high limit or low limit. So if they're dictating what it is, have somebody with a lower limit. That way you're not going outside yours. If would be one of the better things you can do. If you want to have somebody with a higher limit up front, just realize, ride with your own ride. Let them go. Just let them go, take off, and you're going to ride what you can do. Simple as that. So when we see this is going to be one of the contributing factors is speed. So you see how he's going to go wide. So he's going wide because he went, see how he's on the inside right now? So right now he's on the outside. He went inside way too early. He did an early apex. With an early apex, let me go ahead and so I can show you guys. Early apex versus late apex. Let's see if I can find some images. Okay. But open image, new tab. So early apex versus late apex. Here's the situation here. So what happened with him is that he went early. He's the orange. Okay, he's the orange. So what he did is he went outside. He touched the inside of the apex super early and then went wide. So he has a decreased line of sight and then his greater potential of overcooking corner, which means he's going to go outside too far. On this diagram, it shows that he stayed within the lines, but with this video, he didn't correct it to where he could stay within the lines. He went way off, okay? So a late apex is when you start on the outside. This is perfectly fine, outside, inside, outside. It's great. So you're going to have improved line of sight, and then you initiate your turn a little bit later so that you have more of a straight line through the turn. Perfectly done that way. What he did is he went way too early. He's that orange line right there. So let's go ahead and get out of that. Let's go put you over here. So you're going to see him do that. So we're going to play it at about 3/4 speed. And I want you guys to watch how he went to the apex a little bit too early, which caused him to go wide on this next one. So he's going to go wide. So early apex went wide. So he went outside the line. But look, we have an extra turn now. We have another turn going. So now he has to overcorrect to get himself over to the outside of this one and then go over here. That is where the first one, sure, you might have, pucker factor, I made the first turn, right? Well, you just set yourself up for a bad second turn. So in this situation, if something ever like this happens to you guys, where you go a little bit wide, now we're in this little straight zone. This little straight zone, slow down, and then take this next turn like a baby. Baby the living crap out of this next turn because you set yourself up for a very terrible turn. So you went wide. Okay, cool. We're a little bit wide. Here, we're straightening up. Now that we're straightened up, try to get yourself off the paint, but if you can, go ahead and apply about 10% brake, 20% brake. Just kind of slow down, roll off the throttle, and set yourself up for this next turn to where now you're going to be in lane position 1 or 2. Don't go for 3, lane position 1 or 2, and slow it down, and then catch up to your buddy on the next straightaway or the next turn or whatever it is, but do not do anything crazy. Yeah, guys, double check your chains and double check your maintenance and stuff before you go out for a ride this weekend. Highly recommend that. So went a little too wide. See, yeah, we have a good straightaway. We have a good straightaway, but he went from, let me go back a little bit. He went from here to having to go, hey, I got to go on the outside, right? So he's going to go all the way to the outside, and he just pushed himself way too far. So don't push yourself to the outside. Push yourself to like lane position 1 or 2. Lorne Newhouse, dude, thank you so much for the donation to this the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna go ahead and watch the counter over here to the right, all the way next to your guys' chat. Watch the counter; it's gonna go up from 4,360. Thank you so much, man. I think we just hit 4,400. Yep, $4,402 because of you guys. So thank you once again, Dark Horse, Chianty, Brian, the Gata. I love that. Robert Ricker and Lauren Newhouse, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donations. I really appreciate it, guys. Really, really, really appreciate it. It's awesome. That is awesome. Gosh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
You okay, mate? Bastards, aren't they? Horrible bastards. Oh, really? Yeah, horrible bastards. Well, we're glad you're alright, mate. Have a nice day.
So those pedestrians were causing problems for him. That was all that was. Whoa, watch out for the second one. You were looking for the first one. Let's go back. Let's watch that one from the beginning.
Horrible bastards. Well, we're glad you're alright, mate. Have a nice day.
See how quick that is?
Really?
So we only see this vehicle. You could barely see the red vehicle. Horrible bastards. Horrible bastards. Love it. So this one you got to be a little bit careful here. It's like, yeah, this guy's moving over. This guy's moving over too. Oh, is there another? Is this a second one? I don't find that as a big deal. Same dude. If you're having that many close calls, you're the common denominator. If you're having that many close calls, which almost seemed like in the same day, you're the common denominator. Especially if you're going to react to it and then, you know, post it online. You know, because it almost seems like you're trying to find stuff to post online. Oh. Like I said, guys, a lot of these rear end issues are very rare, and I can see why this car hit him. Because he probably thought he was taking off with his buddy. The car was looking to the left, you know, checking for himself, rolled into him. This was a rolling into. It wasn't an acceleration boom. Because if he was accelerating and tried to hit him, he would have went flying. So this is one of those situations where it's just looking forward and then just kind of, you know, idled into him.
Oh, and he crashed. Terrible.
Oh, right there. Good reaction to it, though.
Sucks, dude. Couldn't tell if his back tire just came out. You good, brother? I was right behind you. I think so, yeah. Hey, dude.
Oh, look at. Oh no, he rolled the car or rolled it. Okay, I was like, man, look at all that stuff. But they're in a completely different lane.
Man, dude. Yeah, he wasn't even going fast. He just leaning real low. I guess he lost traction. Sucks.
So he wasn't going very fast. He was saying he was leaning very low, lost traction. That's one of those things where you need to have proper body positioning. Because if you have proper body positioning, you're going to leave the bike more upright. You're getting low. But remember, what's touching the ground? Is it you? No, it's not you. It's the bike. So you want your bike to be standing up as much as possible. You have the greater contact patch when that happens. And if you're smooth, that's another thing. Smooth on the controls. So if you can have your bike straight up and you're leaning over and doing all this stuff, but if you're super choppy on the controls, you're going to be very choppy on the traction that you have. So nice and smooth. So this is quite possibly a beginner rider going through this. And you also notice he hit this post. He went right through the post. It's very, very, very dangerous.
Yeah, I told him I'll send him the video, so he's got my number too if you guys ever want.
Hold on, door now? vas normal, enfin?
What?
Mon's left.
I didn't see what happened because I didn't think it was a big deal. What? This is the problem? This is the problem? The dude was merging. You gave him room to merge. And you're gonna hit the frickin' mirror? The dude merged into an open spot. This is why I don't do road rage videos, guys. It pisses me off. There's absolutely nothing that we can learn from this guy. I'm gonna skip it. There's nothing we can learn from him. Oh, very close. Oh, very close. So we're way too close. Way too close. Yeah, I rage hard at the I rage at the road rage. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. So the guy way up front over here went a little too crazy. Went off the road. The guy up front, see, this is where the whole following distance, having that space cushion is very important. This guy almost crashed. Yeah, exactly. We can learn not to ride if you have a short temper. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at the end of the day, here. Okay, I'll calm down. Sorry, guys. I'll calm down. Woosa, woosa. Let's brief. Let's brief. So this situation, this is what caused. Yeah, it's James Bond, dude. Have you guys? Oh, we're gonna after this one, we're gonna watch. Oh wait, I don't know if we can. This stream's gonna get copyright claimed. I was gonna say let's watch one of those Brazil chases. Ah, who cares? Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. You guys support all the other videos, right? You guys support all the videos I post all week. We don't really care about the live stream income. We're here to have fun. We're gonna watch and we're gonna have some fun with that. But anyways, this is what caused the road rage. Okay, see the gap? See the gap. This vehicle was already halfway through the intersection. He's gonna make that gap. I am fine with that. So what's causing the road rage is he has a perception of this was dangerous for him. Okay, that's what's causing the road rage. He's having this is his perception. I need to start thinking like that. Okay, Daniel, calm down. His perception is, I almost died. That's what this is. I almost died. I'm scared for my life. Fight or flight. I'm going to fight. That's the road rage. I get that. Yeah, same here, Dave. Same here. I relax. I relax. So his perception is this was going to kill him. So I want everybody here that's in the chat to understand that this, if you have a gap, understand that, especially if you have an intersection here, you have a vehicle coming in, the vehicle's starting to creep out a little bit. Just let them go. Let them take that gap, because at the end of the day, we're courteous drivers, right? We're courteous riders. We're going to let them take that gap. We're going to let them take that spot, let them get to where they need to go, and we're going to end it there. That is it. Yes, if you feel that threat, you should increase space even more. Exactly, Riho. I love that. If you feel like anybody in your space is a threat, then let's make sure that we provide our own space. The other vehicles on the road are not going to provide that space for us. We have to provide the space for ourselves. Okay, there you go. Exactly, Andrew. So yeah, not clickbait. I almost died. You won't believe what this driver did next. Exactly. That's where a lot of these things come in to play. And if you start to make videos based off of that, you're going to have that perceived notion. If you have the perceived notion of I need to be safe, space cushion, I know if somebody's within my space cushion, it's going to cause me to have a higher level of anxiety. So I'm going to have that little bit of anxiety, but then I'm going to use that because that, remember, once you get a little bit of anxiety and you start to have that, you know, that gut reaction of, oh, this isn't good, that means you're outside of your limits. That means that if that somebody went inside your space bubble, especially in front of you, like in this situation, and you get that anxiety, that tells me that you don't have the necessary skills to stop in time. So if this guy stopped right there, you are scared because you're so close that you don't have the skills to stop in time. If you have practice and you know what your stopping distance is and you know what you can do, and let's say right here at this speed you could stop, this wouldn't cause an anxiety. That's where I really want, this is where I need to start using these learning moments for road rage. I need to stop getting angry at them, but still it's just stupid. have the skills, have the training, so that a lot of these situations don't give you that anxiety. That's what I want you guys to do. Okay? So just relax, develop your skills, and then you're going to realize nothing is a problem. Nothing is really a problem because you saw the hazard beforehand. You have the skills to mitigate it. Now you're just riding on the road reacting to problems. That's it. And if you react great, if you react with skill and poise and courteous driving, you're going to be fine. Your riding experience is going to be lovely. Because trust me, what would you rather do? I'm gonna ask this to you guys. I'm gonna put this on the big face mode. Guys, what would you rather have? Would you rather go? Yeah, let's say you have a 20-minute commute to work. 20-minute commute to work. You're driving your car or you're driving your bike, whatever it is. 20-minute commute to work. Person 1 has the best skill in the world. Best skill, best braking, best everything, but they're not looking for hazards. Rider 2, driver 2, whatever, is looking for hazards and doesn't have necessarily the best skills. Okay. Driver 3 he's looking for hazards. He's doing a search, evaluate, execute. And he also has some skills under his belt. He's actually doing pretty well on his skills. He's practicing. He's cognizant of what he can do. Okay, driver 1, only skill, and driver 1's only skill isn't looking for hazards. So driver 1 is going to ride the same way to work as you guys. So it's the same person. Just riding to work. Few cars pop out in front of him. He brakes. He doesn't get hit. He's able to brake in time because of his skills, but he's pissed. He's like, man, this freaking driver cut me off. I had to emergency brake. I almost hit him. I had to swerve around this one car. So you get to work. Your day is pretty much ruined. You have this anxiety. You have this preconceived notions of other cars. So driver 2 is going to be the one that has, he's looking for hazards and he has okay skills. He's not the best at it, but he's looking for hazards. Driver 2 is going to see this car pull out ahead of him, way ahead of time. He's going to just slow down a little bit. Doesn't have to use any skills. He just kind of slows down, lets him in, boom, goes on with his day. Didn't have a close call. He just slowed it down a little bit. Driver 3 is going to do the same thing. He sees everything. He sees all this stuff happening. He sees the car pull out in front of him. And just in case, he knows he can hit the brakes. He knows he can swerve. He knows, or she knows, whatever it is, can do what needs to do. Driver 1 is going to be pissed off all day. Driver 2 is not going to care too much. He's just going to be kind of oblivious. Ignorance is bliss. Driver 3 is going to be like, wow, that's crazy. I'm so glad I trained. I have all my skills. I saw what happened. Thank gosh I have my skills and I was paying attention. This is awesome. This drive is not that big of a deal. Driver 1 is going to have the biggest problem. Driver 1, massive amount of skills, can brake, can swerve, can do anything and everything, do stoppies, do wheelies, whatever it is you want to call it with skill. But they are not looking ahead of time. They have no understanding why cars come out in front of them. They has no idea why this is happening. He just knows that he can brake and swerve all he wants, but he's going to have a bad time riding. So for me, what I want you guys to have exactly with Eric says right here, Eric says he's 2. He's a number 2. Riho's number, it says best option is 2 or 3. 80 CJ 5-3. Scott DeLeon be rider 2 or 3. So rider 2 is the type of rider that has the training to observe the hazards and has a little bit of training for the skills. I'd rather you guys see the hazards ahead of time and mitigate some of that stuff by space cushion wise. And then if you can, move yourself towards 3 where you're still doing the whole space cushion. You're avoiding incidents. You're not having close calls because you saw all these things happening. But at the end of the day, you have those skills as number 3 has. You have the skills just in case something happens. I think a lot of you guys know the whole 2 is 1, 1 is none, especially if you're in the fire service, police, military, anything. 2 is 1, 1 is none. It's I'll use it as like a gun situation. So if you have 2 guns, one of them fails, you have a backup gun for your self-defense. If you only have 1 gun, that thing fails, guess what? You have nothing. You're shit out of luck. 2 is 1, 1 is none. I'd rather have the search and evaluate skills as my 1, and then I want as my backup my skills themselves as the swerve and braking. That is what you guys need to be focusing on. You need to be observing. You need to see the hazards. You need to recognize hazards. And then, if you can, use your skills. Remember, you can recognize hazards all you want, but if you have no skills, you're just going to see the hazard and run into it. If you only have those skills, you're never going to see the hazard ahead of time. So work your hardest to be number 2 and number 3. Okay, develop your search and evaluate skills first, and at the same time, you know, when you're off into a parking lot, now you're going off the parking lot, so you don't have to do search and evaluate. Practice those skills, combine them both when you're out on the road. I'm working on my own speech on that, my own soapbox, all that stuff. Belt and suspenders. There you go. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, if your belt doesn't work, man, you got suspenders, dog. You're welcome, Scott, man. I'm really trying, guys, I'm trying my best to come up with my own program. You know, we're going to go and switch to this. We're done watching videos. I want to just talk to you guys real quick before we end the stream. We got 15 more minutes on the stream. 1 second. I think we just got another donation. Bill Tansey, thank you so much for the donation to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Guys, this is the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride right here. With 4402, I think we just went up to 4422. 4422, boom. Guys, that'd be sick if we hit 5,000. If we hit 5,000, I'll put $500 in right now. I'm serious. If we hit 5,000, so it's $578. $578 more dollars, I'll put in $500 after that. Any new patrons? Not too much, man. That's what I was kind of get at. So the whole Patreon thing, guys, that is how to support the channel monetarily. There's a lot of goals involved when it comes to the channel, and there's a lot of things I really want to do with it. And at 500 patrons, I'll be traveling the country. I'm getting a van. Like I said, I'm going to trade in. We might trade in the car. Depends on how much income we actually have. Trade in the car so we don't have any vehicles, and we're going to get a 2020 Ford Transit van. All-wheel drive, all that cool stuff. We're going to do a lot of cool things. I'm going to be traveling and then talking to you guys in person, or just hanging out, whatever it is you guys want to do. That's the whole point, you guys. So that's what I'm going to do with Patreon. But at the end of it, I also need to budget and work towards this really big goal I got. I got a huge goal, everybody. I want to build an alternative to the MSF and other training programs around the world. And the best way I could do that is to make it open and inclusive to everybody. And it's going to be relatively inexpensive, so it's not going to be an income earner for me. With the amount of time I'm going to be putting into it, it's not going to be an income earner because I'm going to make it as cheap as possible, because the whole point is to lower the barrier for training for people. And the only way I could do that is through Patreon. YouTube is so fickle, and they're not the greatest reliability. You know what? Let's go ahead and put this, because I got a screensaver popping up. That's my old bike right there. I'll do that. So I'm working with Patreon. I'm going to see what I can do with that. So the more patrons I have, the more time and effort I can put into the training program. It's going to be huge. It's not an ebook. It is not an ebook. It is not going to be an ebook. It's not going to be a book. It's not going to be any of that. It's going to be an online course for you guys, like a full in-depth course to get you going, get you riding. And if you feel like it afterwards, you're going to take a class and get your endorsement. That is the goal. Oh, this was an abandoned warehouse back in Yuma. I went in there in an abandoned warehouse. Yeah, so like I want to build something that you're going to get 95%, 99% of what you're going to get from the MSF and then some. Like there's a lot of stuff you don't get in the MSF that they don't expand on. Same thing with Total Control and all the other organizations. You're not going to get a lot of it. It's going to be as condensed as possible, because they got to fit so much in 2 days, right? They have so much stuff they can only fit in 2 days, and then you got to take an extra class. You got to take an extra class, an extra class. My goal is to have this online course where I give you homework, I have tests, I have everything, and it's going to be 8 to 14 weeks long of a course. At your own pace, I can help you through it, and I'm going to have a special section on the Discord that you guys that are taking the course can talk to each other, work through things together. I'm building up a foundation. with Patreon, with YouTube, with Discord. Those three things, I'm building up a huge foundation, and I'm going to find an IT specialist that's going to actually create a website for me, and we're going to come up with something good. Okay, let's not just make videos. We need something bigger, guys. If I'm going to create safer riders, oh, here's another picture. That's when I was camping. That's on Mount Lemon. I miss that bike. I do, but I got a great bike. Virtual coaching program subscription for riders who have cameras. Yeah, so I'm gonna get some of your guys' stuff, get some of your guys' ideas. Somebody else donate? Dude, Robert. Again. Kevin Young. Yeah. Marv D13. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. But this week, guys, this week is all about the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Okay, this week's all about the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Starting Monday, we're going back to pushing the Patreon. We're going back to pushing something like we're gonna get this going. We're gonna get this going, and it's not gonna come soon. I mean, this is one of those big things, like you just said, Scott. Go big or go home. This is gonna be one of those big things where I'm spending months of research and months of time. I'm developing videos. I'm developing criteria for you to pass. I'm providing all this stuff. The only thing I can't provide is to get you an endorsement. Well, that's right now. I'm finding a way I could possibly get you an endorsement if you take the certification, if it can happen. If it can happen. Don't know if it can, but I'm going to get you so prepared for free. Here's the thing. What I want for the program is the first 2 weeks is going to be based off of getting you prepared for the endorsement. Week 3 all the way to 14 is to be more of an advanced stuff. So 2 weeks of, like on the MSF, you get 2 days. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to get you prepared for the endorsement. You go take the endorsement, boom, you're done. And it's going to be Department of Transportation type of endorsement stuff, and it's going to be Mod 1 stuff for you guys across the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm going to get you prepped. I'm going to get you ready. And then if you want to go on with your training, Andrew, thank you so much for the super chat, dude. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. That is huge. Appreciate it, man. Well, guys, I'm excited about this. You guys are giving me the confidence to do this. And like I said, the only way I can really do it is by Patreon. I think at this point, I'm just using all money from Patreon towards this goal. Because we've been at about 450 plus patrons for a while now. So I think I have enough just for the traveling. I think with my saving and being frugal with everything, I have enough for traveling. So now from October forward, everything on the Patreon is going towards this program. And it's going to subsidize this program until my YouTube channel can pick up a little bit more and subsidize the rest. But guys, YRK Games, how you doing? YRK Games, how you doing, man? But we're gonna do something. We're doing something big, and like I said, it's gonna be inclusive for everybody. And I'll be sponsoring. I'll be giving away free, courses. I'll give away during these live streams. I'll give you a free coupon code to take the 14 weight course. It's something I can give away, and I know for a fact people are gonna be able to use it. Kalo, I was a firefighter for 10.5 years. So July 2007 to May 2018. So it's almost 11 years. But I'm doing this full time now, and I just want you guys to stay safe. That's really what it is. Yeah, Brian, exactly. So thank you for bringing that up. A learning management platform. What's that? See, I can learn from you guys too. So I still got learning management software. Oh, I love your guys' input. So all the stuff, all the experiences I've had as a firefighter, EMT, accident scene management instructor, MSF rider coach, motorcycle rider, YouTuber. What else? My own history with mental illness, so I can help you get over your anxieties. All the stuff that went out. Look out my window. It's out my window. Don't scare me. Don't scare me. But all those things I want to bring to the table. And then on top of it, I want to get, there's just so much stuff. Nigel, you better not be outside. You better not be outside. Don't scare me. But there's so much stuff I want to bring to you guys. And I have these massive plans that I'm coming up with the framework right now. Just how to do it. That's where we're working on. How to make it happen is what we're working on. So guys, I just wanted to say thank you. I'm going to look up all these things. So if you guys, thank you for all the donations, man. Everybody. Thank you. I'm going to, so Dark Horse, thank you. Chianty, Brian, Robert, Lauren, Bill, Robert again, Kevin, thank you so much for the donations to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Team up with the Law Tigers, they may support the training. Exactly. So yeah, I'm working with, I'm going to see about getting partners. But here's the thing, at the end of the day, I want this program. Trust me, I don't need anything. I already got what I want. I got a house, I got a healthy family. I just need to get the van so I can travel. That's it. And then I got my dream bike. I'm content. I'm content. I don't need sports cars. I don't need massive things. I am content. I don't know what rank I'm in. Let's go ahead and find out. Sometimes it doesn't update right away because you guys are crazy when it comes to the donations. Damn, they went crazy with the donations, guys. I'm not top 20 no more. I'm not even top 40. That's fine. I am number 53. I'm 53rd in the world. 53rd in the world. Not a big deal. That's fine. Yeah, I was 18th in the United States. Let's see where I'm at in the United States. Oh, not even top 20 in the United States. 24th, United States. That's not that big a deal. We did good, guys. We did good. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff that I have planned. So if you guys would love to, or if you would like to support that mission, we're going big. We're going big. We're making it to where we're gonna make a lot of safe riders. And if you want to be a part of it, please, please, please join Patreon. Please, it's gonna make it to where I can do what it is I want to do. So guys, I'm gonna be heading out. I had a great stream with you guys. Thank you so much. We learned quite a bit. I just want to say once again, thank you guys. You guys have been the amazing, amazing crew. You see all the people that joined: CyberRat, S.M.A.R.T, Evil Penguin, Jason, SK, and then it says Andrew Orcutt donated to the stream. So guys, if you donate and if you join the Discord, it shows up. It shows up. Hero streams. Hero, how you doing? Yeah, boy. Stream. I've been posting a lot of waterfall stuff, but now we're gonna do that. So guys, if you'd like to join the Discord is 100% free, and you're gonna find a lot of stuff behind the scenes there. So join up, everybody. Join up. Absolutely 100% free. Dude, you did good. You did good, Robert. Thank you so much for all the support, man. I really do. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you, man. Look at Shibiu, Marvin. Welcome all. See, this is live right now. This is live. Join the Discord, everybody. Click that link, discord.gg/DanDanTheFireman. It is a partnered Discord. We have 1,700 members. 17, well, close to it. It's like 1,690 now or something like that. But 1,700 members. It's amazing. I absolutely love how crazy big this has gotten. And it's big, but it's not like busy, and you get your voice heard easily. Andrew, that's awesome. I'm gonna look into that, dude. I'm looking into that. What is it called again? Let me scroll up. I don't think I'll be able to replace the MSF right away, but learning management platform, okay. But it's going to be something to where only thing that the MSF is going to be able to do is give you your endorsement, because I taught you everything. You know what I mean? Learning management platform. I'm going to look into that, okay, dude? Thank you so much for even bringing that up. But maybe, you know, who knows? Like right now, my plan is to be close to replacement, but who knows, guys? Maybe it could become a replacement. Wouldn't that be insane? And you guys are here to see it first. Thank you, Matt Ranger, for the kind words. Yeah, it's like, why create something new when you could just use this program? That's cool. Hey, Jumper, there you are. Welcome, dude. Sorry, I'm looking on the off screen to do some stuff. Yeah, I'm a savvy Googler, but dude, thanks for bringing that up. I'll see you guys in the Discord, guys.